to the
OG?
L to the
OG. What's up, everyone? My name is Michelle, and we're getting into the next two episodes of Succession, episode 7 and episode 8. Now, we left off in the last reaction with the cruise line scandal finally blowing up. It doesn't seem like Tom and Greg are in like the thick of it, but something tells me that, because they said that it's only a little bit of information, it's all innuendos, it's just like drip drop of information that they have coming out. And so I think there's going to be more down the line, especially since the Greg and the Tom thing hasn't really manifested. Not to mention Kendall knows Greg he was high, or no, I don't think he was high when he said it. He was looking for a fix when Greg told him that he made copies. And now Tom also knows, which he was hilariously proud of him for making copies to protect himself. I love that. But yes, that dropped. And was it the 4th episode where they hired, was it Ravenhead? I believe the news anchor's name was. I feel like I'm getting a better understanding of Waystar and what it's about. I feel like it's a fictional news network that is, I don't know if it's always been like this, but by the way Sid spoke to Tom, it seems like it has made its mark in the world, being a news network that hires individuals or creates media or slants information in I don't want to get too political because the show, I feel like the show definitely is commentating, and there seem to be real life parallels here. It's a network that, quite frankly, platforms individuals with fascist ideology. I've heard the word racist come up quite often. I believe Greg, Nate, and Gil have mentioned that. Shiv, I don't know why my mind could not find her name for a second there, but Shiv mentioned misogyny in her conversation with her father. It seems to be a network that caters to those ideas, and Sid, the way she spoke about it, being lectured by people who spend a certain amount of money on a haircut and a latte. Essentially, this is a news network that feels very fashy. I'm just gonna say it. It feels like it is promoting very separatist and not too progressive ideologies on their network, and they pride themselves in it. It seems like they go into more of sensationalist ideas, and they cater to that very not so small faction or group of individuals in the world who prefer to jump back 50, 60, 70 years. But I feel like the more grip I have on Waystar, the more I'm able to understand the family. Logan in particular. I feel like they're just power centered. They're money centered. And they don't care much for the impact that they have on the world, the legacy they necessarily leave behind. I think whatever moral conundrums they find themselves in, they buttress it with the amount of money they have, the amount of power they wield. And it's just unfortunate because like I said in the last reaction, this is a commentary on real life. I feel like there are real life parallels, and it is a window, a very fictional, dramatized window into how these networks are ran and what their focus is on, and how these corporations that have thousands of individuals under their employ kind of write them off. At the end of the day, there's, you know, that saying, minimum wage is essentially saying, if I could pay you less, I would. If I could pay you nothing at all, I would. That's slavery in and of itself. If I could pay you nothing, I would. So it's just unfortunate to, like, you want, because anytime you watch a show, there's a part of you that wants to root for the characters, but I'm settling in with the idea that this is not a show where I'm going to find myself rooting for anyone. I'm not. The reality is that this show is a window into awful people. And I do feel like I don't know the writer's name, which is such a shame. Their names pop up all the time. I should be memorizing this, but I feel like they've done a really good job in making them sympathetic, and yet you don't find yourself rooting for them. Like, they do a really good job in reminding you that these are, quite frankly, detestable individuals that on an everyday basis, if you know, you have a bit of sanity to you, if you get a, you know, good solid head on your shoulder, you're probably not gonna like them. There's a race divide, there's a class divide, there's an ethical, I mean, even if you agreed with their politics, these people still will look down upon you because of your wealth, the wealth distinction between them as well. I feel like if you're not them, they don't care about you, and that is saying something, because they don't even care about the people that are them. I'm just getting the idea that it's a very somber realization that I don't find, this is probably the first show I'm watching where I don't find myself rooting for any character to have a good outcome. There's a part of me that just wants them all to burn. Shame. Maybe that'll change as the show goes on, but where I'm sitting right now, I kind of want them all to go under. I think the only show I've ever really felt that towards was recently Mayans MC. What an awful show. It was a Sons of Anarchy spin-off. Sons of Anarchy is one of my favorite shows. That's another show where Kurt Sutter did a phenomenal job at writing awful people, but sort of positioning it where you can root for them. Some of them, not all of them. Not all of them. He definitely made, you know how you have writers who center awful people that in the real world you'd cross the street if you saw them coming, and yet you watch and you love them because that's Sons of Anarchy, not Succession. I don't watch this and find myself loving any of them. I mean, I love the characters, I find them fascinating, don't get me wrong, but yeah, no, there's not a part of me that roots for them. But yes, the last show I watched, not to give a spoiler, was Mayans MC, where I found myself so happy at the ending. It was a trash show, it was awful. I just stuck with it because I've been watching it for so long. They booted off Kurt Sutter, the man who created it, and it just went downhill. Anyways, I just went on a complete and utter irrelevant tangent just to say that I am now sort of understanding these characters a bit more, Waystar, the news media a bit more. And now that I don't find myself rooting for any of these characters. I am fascinated by them, but I'm not rooting for them. Like, my happy ending would see them suffer. I don't want anyone to get what they want. I want them all to suffer. Maybe we could find out that, like, there's an embezzlement case, how can I put it, like, they're all, I just want them to go to jail, but I don't see that happening. Like, I want something awful to happen to them. I just feel like this, coming off of last reaction, I might change up. I probably will by season 3. I'm gonna find myself crying over Kendall again. Just coming off of last episode, that just pissed me all the way off, the way they handled the cruise line scandal. Anyways, grab a drink, grab a snack, whatever it is you like to do when you watch your favorite reactions. Just get comfortable and let's get to.
Look, the shareholders want a CEO successor named before the shareholder meeting. It'd be smart to be able to preempt any bad stuff that could come out if you came under the spotlight.
Okay, there's a lot of bad stuff.
You want me to just
most likely
tell you all the terrible things that I, Roman Roy, have ever done?
How would you feel if I had some Oppo research done? see what a tenacious bottom feeder could grub up on you.
I'd say that sounds like fun.
We went Blanche.
Thank you, Jimmy.
Blanche.
For the internal investigation?
Oh, okay.
An interview is going to be like slipping into a bubble bath. Yeah. Just light a scented candle in there and put some eagles on. Start.
Shiv, I'm sorry, but I should just, anyway.
Oh, hey. Hi. Okay?
Yeah.
What is going on?
Logan Roy and his family are taking a once great media brand down a dead end. Acquisition strategy. Fail.
Is this
Succession
Sandy and
planning.
Stewie?
Fail.
Are they running like a smear campaign?
So Sandy and Stewie have sent out thousands of them, all major shareholders.
What does DF King say?
Interesting that Shiv's not in the room right now.
Pierce Pursuit has played badly in some quarters. Jack the Ulsterman is wavering. A chunk of stock who we hear is no longer solid. Your mother, Caroline.
Ooh.
Really? Mom? What is she, 3?
Roman, Kendall, Shiv could hit their mom.
We're getting more of the mother. Yes, I want that. Yes, I feel like the last interaction we got was a little superficial.
Keep it simple.
Are you sure we need to? That's like, what are we?
He doesn't want to go back.
Relax, Branzino porno.
What's happening? Where's Dad? We're
Yeah.
supposed to be
You
talking.
wanted me to tell you sorry, rain check. Are your nips hard? They must be because you are so out in the cold.
I had a feeling. I was like, why isn't she in the room? She's really out there, huh? Damn. It's like he revoked everything. Or was he ever really serious about it? I don't think he ever really was serious, y'all.
Are you all right, son?
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, I was going to say, that thing up at Argestes.
Oh, no, yeah.
I didn't even know you were there. I mean, if I did, I wouldn't,
Oh, I know. Yeah, I know.
Sir, take responsibility for the fact that you hit him. No, this is not okay.
Did I even make contact?
Excuse you. This feels like he's gaslighting. Yes.
I don't
Sir, you said you lost a tooth.
Yeah, so I'm not quite sure what we're talking about, to be honest.
Because that's not something I do,
Yeah, I know. I know that.
You hit him and you're trying to minimize it. Is that it? Is that all?
Cars, buildings, everywhere.
Roman's so uncomfortable.
He didn't tell you I was coming?
I hate this man so much, Logan.
Media guy, he's not. Hey, Shiv. Hey.
What? Hey,
Can I
do you
ask
know
you
he's
about
gone?
something?
Can you believe this? He's gone.
Hey, I just wanted to check. It definitely is bullshit, this internal investigation.
He hasn't even responded to the memo.
Because that didn't feel all that bullshitty.
It wasn't all softballs?
You ever been hit in the face with a softball? I mean, just how inside this
That shit hurts.
I mean, never mind the jokes and the ha-ha. He's not gonna fry me, is he?
Yes.
No. You know what? I think I have to go out there.
I don't trust this man. You watched
go and
this
fix
man
this,
hit
okay?
his own son. I think he'd be willing to let him fry. Oh shit, Tom.
You okay?
How it was today with the guys?
A little bit jittery. Bit of a stress come down.
Here's my thing, Greg. You know the papers, the copies? I want them. Yeah. I did my.
I just guessed that they're like my insurance policy.
You played your hand very well. I like it. I do. But we need to end this now. Or I tell Logan that you took copies of sensitive documents.
Okay, that's.
Ooh, now that's the ultimate threat.
Well, I'll go in early and I'll give them to you first thing tomorrow.
Right. But. Except I can't trust you. It's not personal, I just can't trust you. So I'm gonna go with you to wherever you have the papers, and then later, together, we're gonna dispose of them off premises. And if you squeal or you try to take copies, I'll break your legs.
I don't think Tom is messing around either with you. I like this side of Tom.
What if you're right? What if she doesn't have it in her? I worry for her. Maybe I jumped too fast.
Nothing's been said publicly, though, right?
With Kendall, wasn't the best situation.
When does she get in?
Tomorrow.
If you wanted me to, I think I might be able to help you make this go away.
What?
Would you like me to try? Let me see what I can do.
She gonna work for him now?
Dude, have you seen this from UK Comms?
Oh, what? Oh, hey Jerry, have you seen us? I'll call you back.
Where's Dad?
Shit.
Is he awake?
That's just said bullied?
Family's line is emotional distress.
Yes, they're saying you punched him, which caused him, in effect, to drive his car into the river.
I did not punch anyone. Yeah, this is...
Sandy's tabloid that's stirring this up. They went and interviewed them.
Of course.
Figures.
It's a transparent effort to rattle our shareholders.
Good work, Sandy. You have to remember, I am actively rooting against this family.
Here that Sandy and Stewie are beating their drum with the bones of a dead kid. So it rebounds.
Yeah, they look bad, like they're exploiting his death in
You think that gets me out?
in a war against him. Which they are.
Well, I should...
Oh, hi.
Hey.
Okay, all right.
Hey.
The way Logan did a second.
You remember Naomi Pierce?
Oh, uh-oh.
She was in...
What does Logan think of this?
Wants me to take her to the Regent's Park Zoo. So,
I think we should do a bit of brainstorming.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Oh, is he keeping him at the house?
Will you come with me?
As in...
Down to the boy's family.
Oh, shit.
I mean, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm not mad that he's doing it. Makes it real for Kendall in
We
a
should
way.
stick together on this. Don't you agree?
And I wonder if he's he's partially doing it to keep him away from Naomi and slipping even further. Yeah, he needs to go meet with that family to see their grief and their anger. And maybe it's like a slight punishment too for Kendall, like by Logan. But I do think him hanging out with Naomi is bad, and he does need to meet with the family. If he's not gonna face like legal recourse for this, then
No, I'm fine,
yeah,
thanks.
maybe he needs to be punished another way.
It just so happens you're very smart and talented, Siobhan. Maybe isn't now the time to just let him know, you know? You have options.
Okay, yeah, but I can't bluff him.
I happen to know there's a media operation in need of a dynamic new CEO. And I happen to know Nan Pierce has a certain regard for you.
What is Ray's angle, y'all? What is this woman's angle? Who's she working for? Is she working for Logan? Is she working for Nan? Is she working for herself? I feel like she's working for herself. I feel like she wants to like get close to Shiv, get her, and then like dangle her to Nan as a way back in. Is that it? Is that the long game here? Y'all, this is throwing me off. This is throwing me off.
So what you doing tonight, Dad?
This.
Well, yeah, that's kind.
Oh, Kendall.
Thank you. Thank you so much for seeing.
Oh, and then you look up and you see baby pictures of him. I'm afraid of what this is gonna do to him even more. I hope he does not turn to more narcotics after this experience, but I feel like he will, especially with Naomi in his life. Shoot. This man just needs to go away. Just like go to like a retreat and stay there for the rest of your life. Free and clean. Not really free, but clean.
Okay, let's go.
Hey, Dad.
Don't say anything reckless in this house.
Do you think I should maybe say something to them?
No. I actually thought he was gonna be like on the couch sitting in front of them and having to talk to them. He just kind of was in the kitchen. I wonder what Logan's angle was to doing this. It's not quite clear.
I've been through the ringer, you know. Fuck knows how they cope. They were embarrassed, really. You know. They knew he was a druggie. Yeah. Don't forget it. Right? You know, there's nothing to be ashamed of. We give them a bit of a laugh, some decent TV to watch, news that doesn't talk down to them.
Is this his mentality behind it?
Dad won't be pleased.
Well, she demanded my attendance.
It's interesting to see the little justifications he makes in passing, like he's talking to himself in a way. It's like there is a part of him that is conflicted, and saying these things out loud justifies it to him and him alone, and that's all he needs.
Shall we begin with the negotiations straight away? Tell me, what does it feel like being sent here to wheedle out your mother?
Don't look at me. I'm not getting involved. She's right.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. A bit of solidarity. 20 years too late. Never mind.
Ooh. So they favor the father over the mother?
Well, he told me to tell you 10, but it's 40.
So it's 50. How about 20 million? And you kids give me Christmas every year.
Oh, come on.
Aww.
Mom, don't make it like...
She wants Christmas, kid. Oh, okay, go spend Christmas with your mom.
No, you...
Great.
Okay, please notice there's something off with your son.
I have some things I'd like to tell you.
No more long lists of my emotional deficiencies.
Ah, emotional deficiencies. What kind of mother were you then? Maybe they were avoiding you for a reason. How bad were you that they chose their father?
But are they quite difficult things? Because, you know, a bit tired for home truths.
What?
Right.
Tired? Ma'am, you're his mother. Everything. Shut up. Oh my God.
Well.
Ma'am, listen to your child. Doesn't matter how difficult it is. I mean, tired for home truths. Is this your emotional deficiencies come?
It's fine.
No, I want to. Come on.
It's okay.
It might be better to do it over an egg.
Sure.
So both their parents seem to be emotionally lacking. Oof, good lord. No wonder these kids are so screwed up.
No one will ever know you sent me to shred the records of off-book hush money and illegal intimidation.
Check him, Tom. Don't say anything. Don't you say anything, Tom. Oh my God, Greg. Oh, shit. I mean, I don't blame him, but...
Hey.
Shit.
My beer?
Oh, he's holding a lot more than your beard. Holding your life in his hands.
Oh. Hey. Yeah. Good.
You know what pisses me off the most about this? Is that if Greg had kept his goddamn mouth shut, the fact that he ran to Jerry and they shut that shit down pisses me off so much. There's a part of me that feels bad for Greg, but doesn't, because why would you run? He knew. Tom told him everything that he found, everything, and then he ran to tell Jerry because. That's why there's a part of me that just, I will never forget that. It's like, it's not like Greg didn't know what it was about. He confided in Greg everything. And then to hear Greg talk about his moral conundrums working for ATN, and that's the shit you did? Greg's a hypocrite. They all are, but particularly for that. You have a problem with racism and the fascist ideologies that they have, but you do that? You run to Jerry and tell her?
Honestly, I was afraid that you would... I want this and that I can do it.
Mm-hmm. Then why are you me about?
As in...
Putting your name in for the Pierce job. We can have our bumps. I don't expect that.
Well, it's not that I was...
Family, Siobhan! If you don't understand that, then f*** off.
He's got a lot of nerve criticizing her about the word family. A lot of nerve. But what the hell is Rhea? Is Rhea trying to destroy the family from the inside on the behalf of Nan? What is Rhea up to? Because I can't put that together.
She's sorry if she misses our departure. She's got quite a lot to do.
What the hell? So their mom is a flighty little shit? She took off because Kendall wanted to talk to her, and now he's gonna... Good God. These kids have no one. They have no one. And yes, no one. Because if Logan is what you have for an emotional support system to help nurture you throughout your childhood, you have no one. You have worse than no one.
How'd it go with Shiv?
We had it out. Yeah, with the ammunition. I think I got the noose from around my neck.
Oh my God, they set her up to take that deal.
Okay, I think we got a problem.
Yeah, you got screwed over because that's what your father wanted. He wanted you out, and she did it on his behalf. Oh, great. So now, instead of being Nan's little lackey, she's Logan's lackey. Oh, that's just lovely. Instead of being someone's lackey, how about you go build something for yourself, Rhea? She annoys me now. Next episode. Succession, episode 8, Dundee.
Hey, what do you reckon, Rome? Dad boning Rhea?
Can't wrap my head around that. Too steamy. Too hot.
We should all talk about what this means for us. You know? We're all sensing a shift, right?
Or is it just...
Well, Jerry says she looks like the new thing.
I guess Shiv only really feels it because she just got screwed over. But I feel like until Rhea starts screwing over with the other kids, then they'll get on board.
You all wedgied up because Rhea stood on your back and worked your arms like an elliptical?
Just wait until she screws you all over.
Hey, Ken. Hey. Siobhan's planning to kill Rhea.
No, I'm not. We're having a discussion. There's no plan. I'm just encouraging us to assess our options.
Okay. Is that our business? Yeah, I mean, I guess it would be nice to keep it in the family.
Rhea really took the reins on this weekend planning, huh?
Yeah. She's been very active.
Must be tough for you, though.
Shiv, girl.
How so?
I don't know how he can be when he has no enthusiasm.
I'm not that child. I don't piss on the carpet every time it thunders. If she wants to throw him a big surprise party, who am I to spoil it?
His wife.
Oh. The bandstand.
What happened there, Pa?
Huh? Oh, different things.
You and June were lucky to make it out to Canada.
I wasn't such a hootenanny there either. Nah. This place. I look around and I don't know.
Memories at the corner.
When my mother died, but it was all so complicated. You look at the old pictures and they all want you to think it's all so fucking simple, but it was... Well, it was, I don't know what it was, but it wasn't what they say, you know?
Tell us a story, though.
Story?
Yeah, from back in the day.
Oh, yeah?
Okay, Connor.
What, you
I
want a
like
bit
how
about,
he...
old Rosebud? Rosebud. It's a $1 bill. It's whatever it took to get me out of here.
Okay. So no stories.
Good story, Dad.
And here I thought I was about to congratulate, like, okay, Connor is like seeing that his father is a bit in an emotional state and maybe he can get it to open up a bit. Father shut that down real fast.
So are you a person who can't look someone in the eye after you them?
I put you forward to Pierce, and it got out of hand.
I hear you putting some names together for Dad's CEO search.
Various individuals.
Including yourself?
Well, the pool is small for this type of position.
Leaning towards someone, say, like me, who wants to kill you, or yourself for a second chance and a multi-million-dollar payday.
I honestly did not see Rhea putting herself up. Okay.
I have something I wanted to ask you. Are you regularly tested for sexually transmitted diseases? Excuse me? He and I still... I'm sorry, I don't know what you're talking about. So I will be more relaxed to know that you are clean. I don't know who else you're screwing. This isn't appropriate to talk of...
I don't think they are sleeping together. Are they?
And I have lost, and I have fought and won.
Is
But
Rhea
when I
and...
lose, the other one will generally lose an eye or so.
Hey, sorry, Marcia.
Are they sleeping together? I never actually thought they were, but oh my god. That's gonna be so awkward if they're not.
Just say Rhea beats her dog or boyfriend or...
What the hell?
Dad would love that.
Oh my god.
Ammo is not ammo. You need to be clear, direct with the line.
Oh yes, backless dress. Yes, Shiv. I will say her wardrobe.
Hey, this is great.
Do you think it would be okay if I made a little toast. I mean, I don't want to piss anybody off.
Yeah, absolutely. You could toast his mother, Helen.
No! Oh my God.
I don't know, maybe mention Rose. His sister Rose, who's no longer with us. He might appreciate
He has
that.
a sister?
Yeah, sure.
I don't.
Not in the trail mix, but
this is gonna
I
be
just
so
wanted to thank you all for joining.
hard to
and,
watch.
To congratulate our.
He shut down when he thought of his mother, and I didn't. Where's his sister? What happened to his sister?
Let's raise our glasses to those.
Is she gonna say
who
it?
are with us tonight in absentia? Logan's mother, Helen.
To Helen.
Helen.
And his sister, Rose.
Ooh, Kendall done. Oh my God, Kendall and Shiv just turned those screws real good.
Oh, well done. Look at you fitting right in. Like a camp counselor in my butt when I was 12.
I'm sorry. I have to ask. Why are you trying to fuck me? I don't know how you've done it, frankly. What with everything you've been through.
Does she know?
You're good. But you're still in the rock tumbler.
I'm good. I mean, I'm over my shit. And I've met someone.
It's you. I'm telling you now. It's always been you.
Oh, I thought she knew about the boy.
Yeah, he's a tough old bird, but he's
morally bankrupt.
Right. Well.
And I'd appreciate it if you'd stop working for him.
Okay. I have moved up significantly, and
Oh,
this might sound
God.
dumb, but maybe I can kind of work it from the inside.
No.
And that way,
If you refuse, I think it's well within my rights to remove your name from amongst the beneficiaries of my last will and testament.
Ooh.
Your dad is complicated. You think if you kill Rhea, he's just going to give it back to you automatically? No.
Okay, well, Tom, I won't give up. I won't.
No, she's tenacious. You can't not say that about Shiv.
Want to call the troops for tonight?
Hey.
Got you something.
Oh, thank you. Nice. Oh, nice houses.
Yeah. Lovely. These are our houses, Dad. They're all ours.
Really?
Yeah, Malibu. Don't let it pass too much, huh?
I do. It's, well, the future is real, but
You mean the past is real?
she's blue, you know?
Uh-huh.
She's liberal.
Oh, yeah, but so am I.
Yeah, but you get it. You get it.
Mm-hmm. She's the acceptable Democrat.
So I hereby convene the meeting of the newly formed What the Are We Gonna Do committee.
Oh, because the Weisel guy hasn't?
Mr. Weisel, and he said no.
Oh my God. He
no to
has.
everything.
Yes!
We offered $20
Go
million.
Weisel! Don't
No fear
you
of the
give
cost of
up.
legal action.
Yes!
Zero appetite to settle.
Yes,
We asked for a
Weisel!
number.
Apparently there is no number.
There's no number.
There's obviously something going on.
Go Weisel! Go Weisel!
Sour any CEO announcement, the new face is gonna get ripped to shreds.
Short-term question is, do we tell him? Do we tell him tonight?
Anyone want to end the night with a round of boar on the floor?
Are they gonna put...
Weasel is an existential threat.
She's gonna set Ray up for this somehow, some way. Go Weisel for not giving in! Expose them, Weisel. Oh God, why are these four of them just look evil right there?
Flavor. And after a lot of
What the hell?
convincing, well, here we are.
Is he about to strip?
I think he's going to masturbate on stage to a photo of Dad.
My boy
God.
Squiggle cooked up this beat for me.
What?
Check it. Born on the North Bank, king of the East Side, 50 years strong. Now he's rolling in a sick rod, handmade suits, raking in loot. 5-star general, y'all best so.
I read it. It is burning my eyes, but
And it's hurting my ears!
To the OG, dude be the OG.
Oh my God!
I've been through hell, but since I stand dad, I'm alive and well. Pucker up, bitch, and go kiss the ring. L to the OG. some noise!
Frank's face! Frank looks so concerned!
L to the...
OG?
L to the...
OG.
L to the...
You need to stop this.
Frank's face! I can't get over Frank.
L to the... Mother... OG.
I think this might be the end of the company.
Yes. Oh my God. Someone get Kendall into rehab, because that courage, whatever courage that he had. Oh no, get him into rehab right now, y'all. Because that was not a decision made sober.
You gotta do what you think is right. Yeah. That's all there is. And she's the one. For now, she's the one.
I knew she was setting her up.
I'm going to announce tonight, in due course, I shall be appointing Rhea Jarrell as my chief executive officer.
Oh, you're about to get, oh my God, you're about to get ripped apart. They're gonna make, oh.
Nothing about you stepping aside. Why?
I apologize.
Her jewelry is gorgeous.
You broke something here. You're careless. You've been careless of me.
What?
You are boring me.
Ooh. Yes, maybe Marsha will be his undoing.
Guess you'll have to face your reckoning alone.
No.
Well, they would have hated all this. I'm just surprised you're still standing. Any other man would have died from the shame. It's hard to know which is more toxic, your news outlets or your cruise division.
Is that all you do? Say,
blaming yourself for Rose?
I'm not interested.
That really wasn't your fault. This, though.
What?
This is your fault. Empire of shit. Time to pay up.
no, Rhea's about to take the heat. Okay, everyone, so that was episode 7 and 8. And I will say, Logan, don't get me wrong. I said this at the beginning, like I'd go and pissed off, and then somewhere along the way I'd start to like, well, no, it's not that I feel bad for him. It's just, you see more facets, so you're fascinated by him a bit more. And at this point, something about like how the past isn't real in his conversation with Shiv. He says that the past isn't real, but the future is. And I feel like that's a bit backwards. Like for me, I feel like the past is real. It's something that you know has happened. You know these things have happened to you. It's helped shape your reality. Whereas the future, there's just so many different variables, so many unexpected things you don't see coming, things you do see coming, but it doesn't go the way you thought it would. That to me, the future is far more uncertain than the past. But for him, I feel like I do find myself wondering whether or not he struggles with the past, because his brother, Uncle Ewan, says that he blames himself for the passing of his sister, which we don't know how his sister passed, but he does blame himself. So I wonder if his disconnect from past events has a lot to do with the passing of his sister. His mother, he seemed to also, like, when they're in the car and they're driving and they're looking at all of the places that I imagine they frequented as children. I would imagine, I'm not going to sit here and say you ever get over the passing of a parent. I lost my father at 7. I mean, it's just something you kind of have to go on. It's like, well, no, some people do make the choice not to move on with it, but I feel like when you're a lot younger, there is no other option but to just, I mean, I missed school for I was out of school for maybe 2 weeks after he passed, and then came back, and teacher gave me like a little goodie bag, and then, you just life goes on, and you kind of, I don't think you ever get over it, you ever truly move on. It's just time keeps going, and it is what it is. You live your life without them. And I feel like for Logan, he lost his mother young. Well, they said I think he said the last time they saw her he was 5. So I don't know if he meant when he said the last time we saw her, right? That's the wording he used. I just want to be clear on that one. Yeah, he said, now we last saw her when you were 5. So I don't know if he means she passed away at that point, or they left Scotland and they didn't see her again. She passed while they were in Canada. I'm not sure. That wording is a bit tricky. And Logan, in and of himself, he's a tricky character to like wrap your hands around with and kind of make sense of. But yes, he doesn't seem to have made... I wonder if that's why he wasn't able to make peace with his mother's passing, because he wasn't there for it, most likely. He says the last time we saw her, we were 5. So maybe she passed while he was in Canada and he never got the chance to say goodbye. And that clearly affected him. When he's in the car, he can barely really put words. It's like he can't find the words for what he's feeling. And if he does have the words in his head, he doesn't feel safe saying it out loud. Least of all in front of his kids, to himself. Maybe he associates that with weakness. Either way, I do think this episode very much touched on a lot of Logan's traumas. It's just a shame that you're 70, 80 and you're still... I'm not even gonna get into that. There's just something so unbelievably pathetic about being so old and yet so broken. I don't find that to be sad. I find that to be pathetic, because now you're just hurting other children who have to then grow into adults, and you're still hurting them even as they're adults. Like, they're good. You know how they say at some point you got to get over your mommy and daddy shit and move on. Yeah. What says that you don't really, like, until your parents are dead, you're not truly an adult or grown, or you're on your own in this world until your last parent is dead, and then it's really it. Either way, I mean, people like this, because people like this exist, they're you're old as hell, come on now, like, at some point. But shoot, he just strikes me as that kind of character that carried his trauma with him, and then it bled over everything that he did, every thought he had, every feeling he had, every interaction. His trauma bled all over it. Now, he makes a decision to bring Kendall with him and I initially thought Kendall was gonna sit down on the couch and like they're gonna have like this whole scene where he's like having to look the mother and father in the eye. I feel like that was a great subversion of how I thought it was gonna go. He sat in the kitchen and having him like clean up the cup after he drinks the water, and then he leaves, and then he goes back and he gives money, clearly a sign of his guilt. But I did ponder Logan's decision as what because you never know with Logan. It's like he could be playing so many different angles. To me, ultimately, I walk away feeling like he brought Kendall there with him for 2 reasons. I feel like he did not want him with Naomi. I think he wanted him to not further stray into that well of the drugs, the narcotics, the drinking, the sex. I feel like he wants to pull him away from that a bit, like not go too far into it. And I also feel like the secondary reason would be he wants to make sure this stays real for Kendall in a way. Actually, there's a tertiary reasons. I feel like he wants to make sure Kendall isn't connected to the passing of the boy. If anything happens, like Kendall went in, he met the family, he came with him. Like, if he's guilty, he wouldn't do that. Like, he would, not guilty, but was somehow involved or there that night. Like, if there's missing information, why would Kendall go with him to give condolences to the parents. I feel like that was also like Logan's way of creating some kind of buffer in the media's eye. If anything should have ever like come out, or any like little nugget of information that Kendall was seen with the boy that night. I feel like there were 3 reasons. I feel like he didn't want Kendall with Naomi, or just going down that path even deeper. Like, dabble in it, but just don't go too far out where you're knocking off another body. And then to make sure it stays real for Kendall, like, this did happen and you have to like make peace with it in a way. Like, I don't know how else to put it. And then I don't know, the cameras and everyone seeing Kendall go in with him. I feel like that was like a little media spin. In the event of anything, if any information should get out, there's like photos of it, of him going with Logan to pay respects to the family. Now, Logan and Marcia. I will say Marcia's character was always just there for me. Sometimes a bit annoying, the way she just like would. I thought of Marcia for a while as a parrot. She just parrots his thoughts. She just parrots his desires. She just parrots his anger, the way he speaks to the kids. I felt like that's just sort of how I saw her. But seeing her kind of step out from underneath that belief I had for her it was refreshing, to say the least. Like, I wanted to see more of that from Marcia. Initially, I thought she was like playing him, like she was playing a long game, trying to like gain power, like the evil stepmother type thing. But I'm glad that was, once again, that's another expectation that was subverted for me in regards to Marcia's character. She definitely seems to be taking more of a, not stand against him, but more so for herself. Like, standing up for yourself does not automatically mean you're standing against Logan. I don't think she's like going up against him. I feel like she's just standing up for herself. Like, she doesn't care much for the way she's been treated. She doesn't care for the feeling and the fact that Logan is treating her a bit like the little toy soldier comment she made at the Pierce dinner. And then again in this episode, Shiv also kind of turning Marcia's screws a bit in regards to Rhea. I like that. I like that we're seeing not necessarily a divergence from Marcia and Logan, but just something a bit more to give Marcia more characterization of her own, because I kind of hate the fact that I just saw her as like this little parrot. I mean, at first I saw her as someone who was just like scheming, but now, first saw her as someone scheming, then just kind of relegated her to the parrot wife role, and now I'm starting to get more of her. And I'm enjoying that. I want to see that more of that flesh out a bit for Marcia and have her own like little arc, so to speak. Then we have Logan and Rhea. Now, everyone was speculating whether or not they were sleeping together, but I never got that feel. If I misread that, go ahead and tell me if they did sleep together, but I didn't feel like they slept together. I feel like she was just a tool for him to use. Like, give me some, I feel like Logan is someone who likes to have people around him who just puts words to what he feels. And the second you start saying things or doing things that do not feed into what he wants to hear, what he already has set on doing, or what he wants to see done, then he axes you away. And I feel like he can feel Jerry, Carolina, Frank has already betrayed him once. I feel like he can feel, Jerry was already, during that Bar on the Floor episode, hunting. Jerry did confess that she did not agree with the Pierce why can I never say the word acquisition? I'm not about to sit up here and I can never say the acquisition. I can never say the damn word acquisition. I don't know why. You know how you have just some words that don't roll off the tongue? Acquisition is one of those words that it doesn't roll off the tongue for some strange reason. Anyways, I feel like Logan can sense Jerry and Carolina. I don't want to say slow growing descent. Is it a slow growing descent that I'm seeing with them? If it is, I'm not mad at it. I'm kind of glad. But I feel like Logan can feel it. He can sense it. It all was but confirmed in hunting with Jerry. And now he's kind of glomming on to Rhea. She's saying the things like she takes care of, like, I feel like he doesn't want to be the one to tell Shiv, no, this isn't happening for you anymore. So he then sends Rhea to do it on his behalf. And sure enough, she does it. And then he plays Shiv like he has no idea what's happening, even though he knows this was something set up by Rhea at his request. It's so, that's like ultimate gaslighting right there. Oh, I hate it. I hate it so much. Anyways, so I don't get the feeling that they were sleeping together. I just feel like he saw, I don't want to say a kindred spirit in Rhea, but I feel like he did see someone who's efficient, effective, doesn't BS around, and wanted that. And well, not wanted that, but there was a space in his, because he does seem a bit slower now as the episodes progress. I know that they hinted that someone else is taking his medication, like Kendall, that moment with Kendall and Shiv. There was someone else taking his medication for him. He felt tired. He threw up. He's been a bit slower. I feel like we're seeing signs of him getting sicker. So I feel like he was just tired and wanted someone else to do it for him. And Rhea kind of wormed her way into that. She's going to regret that most likely, but she wormed her way into that space where Logan just can't handle these things on his own. He's too sick. He's getting older. He's getting tired. But he also doesn't want to give these responsibilities to the people who've been working for the longest, because he can feel, not that they're disgruntled, but they don't necessarily agree with everything. And he feels like a character who just wants yes men around him for the most part. Now, as for Shiv, she gets screwed over by Rhea at the behest of her father, of course. But yeah, she does get screwed over by Rhea. But I do feel like, I will say this. I did not see the CEO angle. I thought she was there on Nan's behalf. Like maybe she and Nan kind of worked something out. And Nan was like, okay, I'm not going to let you back in, but I won't sue you or go after you legally if you do this, like destroy the family. But I guess Nan does seem to be a bit above it. So in hindsight, that's maybe not it. Like Nan probably would have just wanted to wash her hands with Logan Roy and keep going on with her life. Why is my throat so, felt gravelly for a second there? Yes, back to Shiv. So I feel like, Shiv gets screwed over by Rhea. I'm trying to get my thoughts back where I was. I got distracted by the graveliness of my voice. Yes. Okay. So I do feel like Shiv was right about Rhea wanting to be CEO. She clearly smiled when he announced her. That was the end game. That was the goal for her. And she got it. And in order for her to get it, I feel like her opinions on the kids, as well as, well, yeah, of course, Shiv was biased because she wants that CEO position. So she was giving biased advice to Logan, I would say. And her telling the kids it's you, or I see like she says to Kendall, it's you. She kind of, in that brunch scene with Shiv, she's like, oh, you can have these options. I feel like she was slowly trying to get the kids out the way so she could be CEO. Granted, she's gonna regret it because they just set her up. Rhea, you are not gonna last long. Speaking of setting up, Tom and Greg. So Tom was like real thrilled. He was like, oh, okay, Greg, I see. When he found out about Greg taking those making copies of those documents, he was proud of it. And then in this episode, after having to get dragged to that investigation, shit ain't so sweet. I love when Tom shows that serious side, when he sort of threatens Greg. It's wrong, but I love it. I love when we get to see that because it's something different. It's like when Logan shows emotions. Like, not to say he doesn't show much. When he shows something other than an aggressive, hateful, bully nature, when he gives me something other than that, I'm fascinated by it. When Tom gives me that serious, like, no, but give me those effing papers or I will break your legs, Greg. When I see that, I'm fascinated. I love it. It's different. It's not something we get. So when you see those little nuggets come through, you're like, oh yes, give it to me, Tom. Now Greg. I don't blame myself. Blame Greg for wanting to like keep these papers, like when he snatches those papers up and he shoves it in the back of his pants. I don't think he's wrong for doing that. I feel like, yes, protect yourself, but at the same time, we are low-key in this mess because that's the thing. Greg, I find Greg to be just this walking hypocrite because he's like, okay, this is what ATN stands for. This racism, misogyny, all of this, principles, morals. He talks about that. And yet at the same time, if you go back to that episode, Tom tells him everything that he read. He confides in Greg everything. Greg knows this, goes to Jerry and tells her. And of course, like I would imagine, Greg would have known it got shut down. And he played Boo Boo the Fool. Like, didn't say anything. Like, I'm pretty sure Tom roughed him up too at that gala, that charity dinner. Like, was it you who said something? And he said no. So Greg talking about principles and doing the right thing and not wanting to not working with ATN and yet still reaping. It's a bit like Uncle Ewan. I'm going to talk about Uncle Ewan in this episode. But Greg is a chip off his grandfather's, right off the block there, because it's like you say you have principles, you're not for it, but at the same time, you're still living off the damn money. This stuff has gained, Logan, and you're still part of it. You're still reaping the financial benefits. Those people you feel bad for, those people you say, oh, this is wrong against, you're still living off of their labor, most likely. You're still living off of the money, the capitalistic, the exploitation of laborers that capitalism can and unfortunately does engage in. So both Uncle Ewan, he's there spewing all of this stuff at his brother, his vitriol. And yeah, sure, don't keep your foot on his neck. Don't let up. But at the same time, as he says it, meal ticket, do you have a job, Uncle Ewan? Are you out there working? Are you like providing for yourself? Are you sitting on your ass and collecting the money that this has earned him? It's still the same money, those same things he's saying, this empire of shit, you're living off of it. Unless he's donating all that money, and then the money that provides him water to wipe his ass and clean himself, the food that he eats, unless he is out there working for it, it's like you're such a damn hypocrite. What principles? You're living off of the money. Uncle Ewan and Greg are in the same pot of hypocrites. Because hearing him say all these things, like, yes, like I said, keep your foot on that man's neck. If you were ripping away any joy from him, go for it. Go for it. But at the same time, you are a raging hypocrite. And I feel like that's why Logan probably just tunes him out on some extent. It's like, but you're still taking the money though, aren't you? Meal ticket, you're still living in a nice house. You have an inheritance to pass down of $250 million, I believe, is what Greg is up for in regards to inheriting from his grandfather. Did Ewan earn that money? Is that Ewan's money, or is that Logan's money, or is that the money that his company's made? The very company that you're pissed off. Don't get me started on Uncle Ewan, because he was low-key annoying me in this. Now, Kendall needs Jesus. Yes, the rapping was hilariously cringe, but the root of it is just, I need someone to put Kendall in rehab and throw away the key. Just throw away the key. His kids can visit. I spoke on his arc this season and how I'm not too much caring. I don't care too much for it per se. I feel like we see his guilt. We see the survivor's guilt. We see the days. We see him settling into living in this world. Like I said in the last reaction, I like how they immediately jumped into the season like 48 hours after the events of the wedding for Kendall. So we're seeing him like settle into an after, where this huge thing happens and now he has to just live in the aftermath of it. With that being said, I don't care much for the random hookups, the him and Naomi. Don't care for that. I guess there's a part of just wants to see just a shade of season 1 Kendall, but I do understand the necessity of having him go through this waffling space where he's just giving into everything so destructive and bringing along other people with him. And then this episode 8, Dundee, there were definitely, like, I think Roman said it, or was it in episode 7? Roman said it. Either way, Roman made some comments about his love affair for his father. And then his date, his flavor of the week, Jennifer, also says, you talk about your father a lot. Kendall's relationship with his father, I feel like after covering up his involvement in the car accident that night, him being the driver behind that wheel and being under the influence and driving a car he was not familiar and being like, he doesn't know how to drive stick, doesn't even have a license in that country to be behind the wheel. All of these questions around Kendall's involvement and how culpable would he be in the death of that young man, as well as him then evading the crime, so to speak, running from the scene, and then all the time that's passed since then. With now his relationship with his father covering all that up. Is it that he feels grateful to his father or he feels trapped? There was this moment in the episode Safe Room where he puts his head against this plexiglass, and I can't escape the feeling like it's a prison, like he's stuck now that his father, it's like his father's holding this over his head and he's just subservient to his father, versus in season 1 where he was very combative. So I was wondering if it was a mixture of him being grateful that his father covered this up, but also understanding that he is now locked in a prison. Like his father holds this ultimate thing over his head, and he can never do what he truly wants to do now that his father knows this information, has this information, cleaned up this information. He can pull that trigger anytime and send Kendall away. I feel like it's really just up to Kendall whether or not he'd ever want to, call his father's bluff on whether or not he would actually do that to Kendall. But I feel like as for now, I don't think it's gratefulness any longer. It's just, what are his other options but to be subservient to his father and submissive and just drown himself in all of the things that don't matter anymore. He's completely given up in his addiction. He's having sex randomly. He's shitting himself in a stranger's bed. I just do wonder what's going to be the turning point for Kendall to snap out of this. And I hope it happens soon, preferably by the beginning of season 3. Like, I need to see a little bit of that old Kendall fire in him. Like, where he just calls his father's bluff. Like, are you going to really send me to jail? But as for Roman, that moment where that apology was happening, that was an awful apology. And when he says, I don't even know if I hit you, or like, did I even make contact? It's like, you made contact. If he lost a tooth, your hand felt that for like while he was sitting at that table with the kid making jokes, you felt that. Your hand must have been throbbing. Like, it doesn't just hurt the person you hit. It hurts the person who did the hitting as well. It's a whole ass mess. Like, he's trying to minimize it, which means in my head, he knows it's wrong. Makes me wonder if he ever got hit like that. But I do feel like him bringing it up the way he did and trying to minimize it means you don't do that. You don't actively search for a way to make the situation less than. If you, on some level, do not understand your actions were wrong. You know the difference between right and wrong. And when you do something wrong, there is an active attempt to make it less. And him doing that tells me he knows it's wrong. And so he's skirting away from just staying up front. It was wrong. This is my apology, and not doing it again. But I don't see that ever happening with a character like Logan. And as for Roman, like, I don't even think you hit me. Like, what are we talking about? Like, just completely avoiding it. Just avoidance. In that, I feel like there's a level of shame there. Awkwardness, being uncomfortable, embarrassment, humiliation. It's just all of those feelings that push him to want to avoid having the conversation with his father or holding his feet to the fire, because I feel like Kendall, season 1 Kendall would have never let that, well, I mean, then again, he kind of let it slide when his son got hit by him. So it's just hitting people like a theme for Logan, because he's like, did I even make contact? Like, you hit Iverson, I believe that's his son's name. You hit Roman. Good God, if I see this man hit someone else. The only one who, well, no, I'm not for elderly abuse. He's old. Yeah, I do draw a line. Kids and elderly. Yeah, if like a car hits him and he goes fast, like, or natural, like liver disease or something slow and painful. But hitting the elderly, no. I was gonna say, the next time you hit someone needs to hit back. Nah, not the elderly, but like liver disease or something. Maybe his liver is cirrhotic, or I don't know, like car accident, something other than, beating him up. I'm jesting. Anyways, these were a great 2 episodes. What's his name? Wieselman? Whoever that guy's name is, you are the MVP. Stay on their necks. Do not concede. Do not take any bribe money. I want to see this blow up. Unfortunately, it's going to be Rhea who takes the fall in the end anyway. Can't even enjoy that. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed the reaction, go ahead and give it a thumbs up and tell me what you thought of these episodes down below, and subscribe. And I'll see you all for the next 2 episodes, which is 9 and 10. We're almost done with season 2. What is with me today? Anyways, take care, everyone. I'll see you all next time.